Incannex is a medicinal cannabinoid and psychedelic therapy development company undertaking phase 2 clinical trials, and the company is traded here at the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol IXHL. And with me is the CEO Managing Director Joel Latham from Australia. Great to have you with us today.
Good to be here, Jane. Thank you for having me.
So give us an overview of Incannex. What is the company all about?
So we're a clinical stage pharmaceutical company developing proprietary medicinal cannabinoid drugs and psychedelic medicine therapies. We have a deep asset portfolio. Currently, we have 28 projects in our pipeline, where each of those projects have been de-risked with positive data. We now own the largest IP portfolio in the cannabinoid and psychedelic research sectors, which really does set us apart and puts us in a really strong commercial position moving forward as we continue to develop our drugs, products, and therapies.
Can you expand a little bit on those therapies? What are some of the unique treatments that you're working on?
Yeah, so whilst the asset portfolio is deep, it's worth noting that we're focusing on 3 lead assets that we have in the clinic at the moment. The first being IHL42X, and that targets obstructive sleep apnea. So there isn't currently a registered pharmaceutical treatment for obstructive sleep apnea. So our goal has been and will continue to be the first past the post to have a registrable treatment with the FDA. So we've been able to deliver outstanding phase 2 results previously, which has led us to open an IND with the FDA and commence phase 2, phase 3 trials. So really an exciting project. Our other 2 programs that are leading the way, we're looking at rheumatoid arthritis. So we've developed an anti-inflammatory drug. We currently have a phase 2 study underway with 120 patients. And the final study program that we have leading the way as well is Psi-GAD. So we're looking at targeting generalized anxiety disorder by utilizing psilocybin in combination with psychotherapy. And what excites us about this program is that we have phase 2 data due in Q1 in 2024. So we're not far away from that.
Okay, and Incannex recently announced the completion of a redomiciliation to the US. So share a bit about that transaction. How does that benefit the company?
Yeah, so it's going to benefit the company greatly in the long run. We had a complex corporate structure initially. We were dually listed, so listed on the ASX and the Nasdaq, which created a lot more work and many complexities from a corporate perspective. Not only that, there was many barriers to entry for the US investment community. So whilst we've built up an extensive amount of relationships through our story and the strategy resonates well, there were barriers to entry because we were domiciled on the ASX and not many funds, sophisticated investors dealt with the ASX. So what we've done, we've simplified our corporate strategy, listed all of our shares onto the Nasdaq and removed all barriers to entry. So we look forward to hopefully seeing the fruits of our labor as we continue to develop our assets. And now we can be truly compared next to our peer comparisons in both the cannabinoid and psychedelic sectors.
And cannabis stocks have had kind of wild ride over the past few years, and at least here in the US, way up a few years ago. There are a lot of questions about regulation and where that stands. That's hurt some of them. What can you share about this sector in the long term? Where do you think it's headed?
Well, I think the sector's a really exciting space to be in. We're barely scratching the surface. If you look at the number of registered products that are using compounds from the cannabis plant or psychedelics, there aren't many out there. So that's what excites us internally because we're at the forefront of both of those sectors. So there's a lot of growth, a lot of opportunity, and opportunity not only from an investment standpoint, but opportunity for patients to make a real difference in their lives, because that's what we're setting out to achieve. We want to return a favorable outcome for our shareholders, but make a real difference in the lives of patients suffering from the indications that we're targeting.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of exciting things going on in this industry. What can investors expect next?
From us, investors can expect an abundance of news flow, results, updates, and developments. Right. Myself and the board strategically aligned with shareholders. We've participated in every capital raise and own over 20% of the business collectively. So we run this business as shareholders for shareholders. So we will continue to deliver news. We'll continue to deliver results. and strive to provide a favourable outcome for our shareholders, both in the short, mid, and long term.
And where can interested investors go to find out more about Incannex?
Please visit our website, www.incannex.com.au. It has an abundance of information regarding our programs. Alternatively, investors can reach out to our admin team via the email address admin@incannex.com.au, and we'd be more than happy to share any investor-facing presentations and documentation that we have.
Okay, thank you so much, Joel, for joining us.
Thank you, Jane. It was a pleasure to talk.